Okay, hi guys, Richard Jackson here with a section on psychology. I want to talk to you about some of the psychological traps that traders usually get into. I had one of my traders come in a couple of days ago and we had a in-depth conversation about it. I just want to share that with you because trading is not necessarily, there's a lot to go on, a lot that goes on with trading. So we've got our entry rules, we've got our management rules, our risk management rules, and we've also got our exit rules. But we've also got to consider one thing: what is happening to you psychologically, okay? Now, the thing is it's very difficult for a human being to be able to get over the hurdle of some of these psychological conditions. As a trader, you will need to be able to get over them, and that will only come through experience, okay? But however, if you can recognize it or self-reflect on yourself, or self-reflect to see that this is actually happening because you know of these things, then you can start improving them. If you don't know they exist, then you won't be able to help yourself. But at least I'm going to give you 6 conditions over the course of this little lecture or tutorial of what some of these things are that you may be already falling into, or you may fall into the future. Okay, so the conditions and biases of a trader. The first one, fear. There's also hope, there's greed, there's revenge trading, and there's also confirmation bias and what I call FOMO. And I'll go through each of them just now, just quickly, but I would encourage you as well to look deeper into this. This is just a broad overview of what these conditions are, but what I want you to do is look them up on the internet, Wikipedia, Baby Pips, all the forums, all those sorts of things, and have a look at what these conditions are so that you can fix them for yourselves, because you must fix each one of these things before you become a good trader. Okay. First, fear is basically an acronym for false expectations appearing real. Okay, so if you've got a fear to get into the market, if you've got a fear of managing your trade, you're nervous, all of those sorts of things. We all have this. When I started trading, I was nervous. I would shake. Heart would be beating when my trade is on the when my trade's on the line, and usually that would be that's when I was trading the E-mini S&P, futures index, and that was fairly volatile. So, you've got to be able to overcome fear, overcome your nerves, and have the belief in yourself and in your system. Okay. Okay. The next one is FOMO. It's another acronym for fear of missing out. Now, some traders stop looking at their entry signals, or they see the market move in one direction and they just jump in because they don't want to miss that move. Typically what they'll find is that move will be it'll be completely fake. Okay, so fear of missing out, jumping into trades unnecessarily because you think the market is going to move. What that really is saying to you is that you don't have a system around or your entry conditions. You have to have a set of rules that you need to abide by. Obviously, those rules need to be good, but let's just start off with just having a set of rules and being disciplined enough to not just jump into anything because the market's moving or you think the market is going to move. Okay, next, hope. This is one of these conditions where typically you're in a trade and you're looking at the trade's gone against you and you're hoping that it's going to turn around. Okay, some people may even move their stop loss because they've got this self-belief that is going to turn around and move into the direction that they want. Okay, so if you find yourself saying to yourself, "Oh, I hope it's going to come back," or "I hope that something's going to change," or you're trying to convince yourself, then usually that trade has failed. Okay, next is greed. Greed is one of those ones where typically if you had a little bit of a winning streak, the market's being very kind to you, then you want to keep trading and keep going and keep winning. Okay, so what you need to do is typically be have a set of rules for each market condition, not overstack all your trades when it's all in your favour. Okay, so greed is a trap there for when you're over trading, and typically the trader will come back the next day and think that the market's still going to be kind to them, and they'll tend to lose the whole lot and be back at square one. Okay, revenge trading is another one. Revenge trading is when you've made a loss and you want to make that loss back up, and you start trading nilly-willy all over the place just to try and win back the money that you've lost. Typically what happens there is you'll lose even more. So if you find yourself saying to yourself, "I want to get that money back that I've just lost," because your stop's been hit, then you're going to typically lose even more rather than win that money back. So what you need to do in that situation is just accept the loss and close your computer and come back the next day. It's very hard to do, but accept the fact that you've made the loss and then come back and trade the next day, rather than finding yourself losing even further by revenge trading. Now, all of these conditions here come from a psychological bias. It's called confirmation bias. I encourage you all to look at the Wikipedia page on confirmation bias and have a good read of the whole page there, okay? But basically it's a tendency to search for or interpret or favour or recall information in a way that confirms your own pre-existing belief or hypothesis. Okay, so if a lot of things that happen is based around confirmation bias, where you believe that you've confirmed to yourself that a trade is going to do something in your favour, or it's going to go in your favour, or you've got all of these indicators or whatever on your chart and you've made yourself believe it. And what is happening there is you've stopped looking at the actual signals that are on the chart in front of you, and you're looking for the signals to confirm your own belief, right? And that's a big trap. Because you've gone and said to yourself, "Well, I'm absolutely sure that this trade is going to go in my favour," then you're looking for everything that's going to confirm what your pre-existing belief is. Okay, so and that typically will help people make people hold trades that they shouldn't be holding. Okay, so have a look at confirmation bias. It's a very good one. On the flip side, I've said this in some other videos. On the members area there's two articles there. One is Chaos and Cosmos. The other one is Randomness. I highly recommend that you read both of them, because what we need to do again is, as traders, we are working in probabilities. We're not working with certainty on any one trade. So what we need to do is, when we get into a trade, we have to just leave it alone and let it work its way out. Okay, too many times traders, once they're in the trade, they start mucking around with it. Okay guys, I'll leave it there. If you want to ask me any questions, please email me, and I'll answer them the best I can, or make a one-on-one appointment with me. As I said, please read those two blogs that I've got up on the members area. They're very important for you to get a grip on your psychology. Okay, thanks guys. See you later.